Chief Advisor Professor Muhammad Yunus addresses the nation on completion of 100 days of interim government and commits to hold trial of all misdeeds during last 15 years, including July-August killings. Government has taken necessary steps to hold free and fair elections, desired elections to be held after some required reforms, says Chief Advisor.
প্রয়োজনীয় কিছু অত্যাবশ্যকীয় সংস্কার কাজ শেষ করেই আমরা আপনাদের কাঙ্ক্ষিত নির্বাচন আয়োজন করব।
The interim government creates more than 86,000 jobs under various ministries during its first 100 days. People from all walks of life paid tribute to leader of the oppressed Maulana Abdul Hamid Khan Bhashani, marking his 48th death anniversary. British Parliamentary Under-Secretary of State meets foreign advisor and announces British grant of £10 million more for the Rohingyas. 73 Palestinians killed in Gaza in Israeli attacks which continue in Lebanon. And Sri Lanka batting with victory target of 210 runs against New Zealand in the second ODI in Pellikele. Assalamu alaikum. This is Shamim Khan, welcoming you all to News at 10. Those were the headlines. We now move on to the news in details. Chief Advisor Professor Muhammad Yunus pledged to hold desired elections on completion of some necessary reforms. He made the plea while addressing the nation this evening on completion of 100 days of the interim government. The Election Commission will be formed in a few days, the Chief Advisor said, adding that all responsibility of organizing the elections will fall on the Election Commission once it is formed. Professor Yunus said the efforts to hold those responsible for July-August killings accountable are progressing steadily. He also announced plans to demand extradition of deposed dictator Sheikh Hasina from India.
প্রতিটি হত্যার বিচার আমরা করবই। জুলাই-আগস্ট হত্যাকাণ্ডের বিচারের যে উদ্যোগ আমরা নিয়েছি তার কাজও বেশ ভালোভাবে এগিয়ে যাচ্ছে। পতিত স্বৈরাচার শেখ হাসিনাকেও আমরা ভারতের কাছ থেকে ফেরত চাইব। কেবল জুলাই-আগস্ট হত্যাকাণ্ডই নয়, আমরা গত 15 বছরে সব অপকর্মের বিচার করব। নির্বাচন কবে হবে এই প্রশ্ন আপনাদের সবার মনেই আছে, আমাদের মনেও সারাক্ষণ আছে। আপনারা লক্ষ্য করেছেন নির্বাচন আয়োজনের লক্ষ্যে আমরা প্রয়োজনীয় পদক্ষেপ নিতে শুরু করেছি। কয়েকদিনের মধ্যে নির্বাচন কমিশন গঠন হয়ে যাবে। তারপর থেকে নির্বাচন আয়োজন করার সমস্ত দায়িত্ব তাদের উপর বর্তাবে। আমি আপনাদের কথা দিচ্ছি, আপনারা সুযোগ দিলে প্রয়োজনীয় কিছু অত্যাবশ্যকীয় সংস্কার কাজ শেষ করেই আমরা আপনাদের কাঙ্ক্ষিত নির্বাচন আয়োজন করব। ততদিন পর্যন্ত আমি আপনাদের ধৈর্য ধারণ করার অনুরোধ করব। আমরা চাইব আমরা যেন এমন একটি নির্বাচন ব্যবস্থা সৃষ্টি করতে পারি যা যুগ যুগ ধরে অনুসরণ করা যাবে। এই সরকারকে ব্যর্থ করার জন্য, অকার্যকর করার জন্য বিশাল অর্থে বিশ্বব্যাপী এবং দেশের প্রতিটি স্থানে, প্রতিটি প্রতিষ্ঠানে এক মহাপরিকল্পনা প্রতি মুহূর্তে কার্যকর রয়েছে। তাদের একটি বড় প্রচেষ্টা হচ্ছে আমাদের মধ্যে বিভেদ সৃষ্টি করা। পতিত সরকারের নেতৃবৃন্দ যারা এদেশ থেকে বিপুল পরিমাণ অর্থ পাচার করে নিয়ে গেছে, সেই অর্থে বলিয়ান হয়ে তারা দেশে ফিরে আসার জন্য চেষ্টা করে যাচ্ছে। তাদেরকে কিছুতেই সফল হতে দেবেন না। তারা সফল হওয়া মানে জাতির মৃত্যু, জাতি হিসেবে আমাদের অবসান। সাবধান থাকুন, তাদের সকল হীন প্রচেষ্টাকে আমাদের ঐক্যের মাধ্যমে নস্যাৎ করে দেন, যেভাবে নস্যাৎ করেছিলেন তাদের বন্দুকের গুলিকে, তাদের আয়নাঘরকে, প্রতি পায়ে তাদের অনাচারের শিকলকে। এ ব্যাপারে সবাই একমত থাকুন, ঐক্যবদ্ধ থাকুন।
UK Minister for Indo-Pacific Catherine West said her government would extend full support to Bangladesh, including in its efforts to bring back billions of dollars of laundered money. She said this while calling on Chief Advisor Professor Muhammad Yunus at the State Guest House Jumuna in Dhaka today. Professor Yunus thanked her, saying that returning money laundered by corrupt politicians, oligarchs and bureaucrats is a top priority of the interim government. During the meeting, Professor Yunus described his government's reform initiatives to fix the country's key institutions and the Election Commission. He said reforms are aimed at ensuring free and fair elections in the country and to break away from the rampant vote rigging practiced by previous regime. Catherine West backed the reform, saying Britain would like to see vibrant debates on key aspects of electoral, judiciary and constitutional reforms. The minister announced £10.3 million grant support to provide essential services and assistance to the Rohingya refugees. 48th death anniversary of Muslim Janoneta Maulana Abdul Hamid Khan Bhashani was observed across the country with due respect today. He is an iconic name in the politics of Bangladesh and the Indian subcontinent. Maulana Bhashani, in association with common people, fought throughout his life against imperialism and capitalism. He was one of the top leaders in the struggles for ensuring democracy in Pakistan and establishing independent Bangladesh and its sovereignty. Maulana Abdul Hamid Khan Bhashani was the founder president of Awami League. Awami League held its council in Kagmari of Tangal district between February 7 and 10 in 1957 with Maulana Bhashani in the chair. At that council, the great public leader Maulana Abdul Hamid Khan Bhashani had warned that people of the then East Pakistan would say the central Pakistani rulers Assalamu alaikum or goodbye for their discriminatory behavior. Meanwhile, hundreds of people thronged the grave of Maulana Abdul Hamid Khan Bhashani at Shantosh in Tangal, marking his 48th death anniversary today. Leaders and activists of different political parties, as well as social, professional and cultural organizations, paid tribute to this iconic leader of the oppressed people. Offering prayers as well as discussion marked the death anniversary of Maulana Abdul Hamid Khan Bhashani. Maulana Abdul Hamid Khan Bhashani had struggled for the oppressed people throughout his life. Common people consider this iconic leader as the guardian of the nation. He received honor of Father of the Nation from people, but this reality was buried by a quarter after political purposes. On March 9 in 1971, hundreds of thousands of people gathered at the public rally of Maulana Abdul Hamid Khan Bhashani in the capital Spalton. Maulana Bhashani was the founder president of Awami League. At the Kagmari Council in Tangal district in 1957, Maulana Abdul Hamid Khan Bhashani had warned that people of the then East Pakistan would say Assalamu alaikum or goodbye to Pakistani rulers for their discriminatory behavior. After independence of Bangladesh, Maulana Bhashani stood against Sheikh Mujibur Rahman for his misrule. Sheikh Mujib was a disciple of Maulana Abdul Hamid Khan Bhashani. British Minister for Indo-Pacific Catherine West said United Kingdom has full support for the action plan being taken by interim government to restore democracy, political and economic stability in Bangladesh. She was speaking to journalists this morning after meeting with Foreign Advisor Mohammad Tawheed Hussain at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. Catherine West said the United Kingdom expects Dr. Muhammad Yunus will announce a roadmap to restore democracy in Bangladesh. The British government expects a level playing field for all political parties will be created before the election. The British minister said she discussed economy, security, climate change and migration of two countries with the foreign minister. The United Kingdom will donate an additional £10 million to Bangladesh for the Rohingyas who have been displaced from Myanmar, she added. The British minister arrived in Dhaka yesterday for a two-day visit. This is the first time a high-ranking British delegation has visited Bangladesh since the interim government took office on 8th of August. The interim government has created employment for 86,277 people under various ministries during its 100 days. Youth and Sports Secretary Mohammad Rizaul Maqsood Zahidi revealed the information today at a press conference on the progress of 100 days under the Ministry of Youth and Sports and the Ministry of Labour and Employment. Youth and Sports Advisor Asif Mahmood Shoji Bhuiya was present at the press conference. Youth and Sports Secretary said under the Department of Youth Development, a target of institutional and non-institutional training for 2,64,080 people has been set in the current fiscal with the aim of engaging in public and private work and self-employment of the job seekers. A total of 19,452 people have been trained in the last 100 days, and currently 52,115 youths are being given training, he added. 7 more members of Chhatro Shibir who fell victims of enforced disappearances and torture during Awami League regime submitted complaints to the International Crimes Tribunal. Today they submitted 7 separate complaints accusing a total of 53 law enforcers in the cases. Of the 7, 2 have returned, 1 is still missing, and the remaining 4 have been tortured and crippled, said Abdullah Al-Noman, Law Secretary of Chhatro Shibir. The victims demanded immediate legal action against those involved. They alleged that during the Awami League period, they were picked up from their homes and abducted for a long time and tortured miserably. Then the victims were sent to court with false cases. Early on November 5, 4 leaders of Chhatro Shibir of Joshore and Joypurhat filed allegations of enforced disappearance and torture in the International Crimes Tribunal. On October 21st, 6 Shibir leaders and activists also submitted charges to the tribunal. Now, international news.